All right, you guys, we're at the end of day 2 at RealComm Ibcon. We're out here at the product showcase, looking outside, wishing we were outside, but we're in here working. So I'm here with Therese Sullivan, buildingcontext.me, Ken Sinclair, AKA Otto from automatedbuildings.com, and the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Kenny Smyers from controltrends.com. Guys, we're going to do our day 2 recap. Therese, let's start with you. What did
He did the front end.
He did the front end. Hey, wait a minute, this is my show. Whoa, I tell you what. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see conflict in action here. All right, what Therese wants, Therese gets.
All right, I'm not sure, front end, so I'll start it here. Okay, well, I'll tell you, the general session was amazing. We had Cade Metz, was the first person to knock me off my chair, because I love hearing about the future and artificial intelligence and what the impact's going to be in a sensible way. So this gentleman here basically floored a lot of the people in the audience, and Jim Young was collaborating, and we had Nino DeCosmo, and we had Avant Yardi up on the stage, and I'm talking, pinnacles of success from different points in the world, talking about the same thing, IoT. It was an amazing experience, and I think I grew an inch just listening to everything going on.
Yeah, the opening session was great. The venue was amazing too. It's really nice, lots of room, people spread out in a formal theater, and it was a real production, and a lot of different twists on the presentation. But I too was, I felt I really got educated, and probably made the sessions all worth coming to, and it's kudos to RealComm and Jim Young, Howard, and Lisa. Good job.
Good job, yeah. So moving from the general session.
No, hang on a second. We're not moving from the general session yet. Cade Metz from Wired Magazine. Now, Therese, rumor has it that the only reason that he came and agreed to speak at this session was he wanted to take you to the high school's prom out here in Silicon Valley, and you told him no. Is there any truth to that?
There's no truth to that rumor.
So why are you passing over Cade so much? I mean, he had some interesting stuff. So tell us what you thought of Cade's message. You be the judge. Keep going.
I thought it was great.
All right. So, you still haven't gotten over this senior prom, huh? Okay, so moving on from the general session, which was fantastic, by the way. It was great. We're having a good time. But hey, you get to these conferences, you're bombarded with so much information. And Therese, we did go to Josh Bradshaw, another Silicon Valley guy. We were at the Smart Cities. Tell us what you think about that.
I thought that presentation was great. And I really liked, I know Mark Pitak mentioned to me before I went down there, he said, collect new stuff. I don't want to hear about anything about the people, the choir, we will, of people in building automation that we've known for so long. And I really thought that that guy from, it was called Zenith, City
Yep.
Zenith, that was, his tagline was Google Earth on steroids, and he was mapping the infrastructure underneath Chicago. The ideas of open.gov, open data, and how that's changing cities, and how buildings are, of course, the center of what the smart city is going to be. And the idea of sharing data among different private building owners for the collective ability of all the cities, especially data about the pipes underneath, where are the fiber optic lines, where are the electrical lines. That was a super interesting thought, that he's doing a visualization of Google Earth for under the earth. Very Tolkien, don't you think?
Well, very, very much so, but I came away very encouraged because two of the smartest guys, one of them was a city manager for San Jose,
Right.
the other from Palo Alto, and these guys were absolutely brilliant, but to listen to them talk, there is such hope. I came away with so much hope, what they're doing with data and sensors. I mean, we could go on and on about it, but the message I got is these guys are really dialed in to making the cities and the planet a better place. I was blown away by those two guys.
Yeah, and I liked the discussion about how they were working with the car companies, the idea of getting the traffic lights on the internet, sharing that data with the car companies so that you would know, for example, would have a dashboard display that would say exactly, count down the seconds to when that light's going to go from yellow to green, and that impact that would have on traffic flow in general. And city services, they talked, it was very encouraging about libraries, all the IoT services that might go in there as they change their basic charter to be more of a community building place. But,
Great,
yeah.
Ken? Auto, I mean?
Auto. Yeah, that's right.
Where were you while we were at this session?
Well,
Yeah.
well, I actually stayed right here on the exhibition floor, and with 100 booths, I actually found enough to keep myself more than busy. I think I spent most of my time just being like a busy bee and cross-pollinating people and trying to find out what the new people were doing, and with my best understanding of what the old people were doing, trying to determine which new people should be talking to which old people. And I think actually it was good fun, and I had fun, and I learned a lot. One of the themes of the opening session was the artificial intelligence, which evolves into machine learning, and I took that on as a little bit of a crusade to try and find out where are we at and who on the floor had bits and pieces of that, and it was good, and I got some good articles. That's going to be our theme for our July issue.
Awesome. Artificial intelligence?
Machine learning. It's going to be performance software machine learning, or machine learning performance software. I'm not sure yet. We haven't exactly got it tied down.
Well, it's awesome, Otto. I'm looking forward to it. The thing about cities is that when they made them, there was no what they called maintenance cycle for a city. There's no maintenance program. So when they built the city, that's what it is. And so now they're coming in trying to, they're using 20th century solutions to fix 21st century problems, and that's not going to work. So those two people you mentioned, Jonathan, about keeping it real, and he gave all this, I liked how he kept using, let's make this real. Give me an example, and he was able to pull out one example after another. Like you mentioned, Therese, they improved traffic by 20%. Audi came into town, BMW came into the other city, but this is a place in America where innovation happens here. So when you try out new products, new ideas, new concepts, you come to San Jose, you come to Silicon Valley, and you get kind of scared. Speaking in turn, Eric, you worked, I want to give you a compliment here, so don't grab the mic too soon. Eric Stromquist did a marvelous fill-in job for Conference Live, RealComm Conference Live. Eric Stromquist did his social media skills, his interviewing skills. What was your experience? Did you have a good time? Tell us about the different people you interviewed.
It was awful. It was awful. It was terrifying. I'm so glad I got Therese and Otto and Ken back. I'm with my peeps now, so I'm feeling better. No, it's a great show. Conference Live is great, but it's a terrifying experience. But I did want to sort of cycle back around to our smart buildings with Josh Bradshaw. One of the things they talked about, and this is why I think Therese is so relevant in Josh Bradshaw, they have a different vocabulary out here. Jim Young talked about it in the main, it's completely different vocabulary, the way they think about innovation, the way they think about ideas, the words they use. Therese, speak to that a little bit if you would.
Our Valley girl.
Our Valley girl. I don't know, things do go quickly around here, and I guess one of the places that everybody's talking to me, at least Valley people, is about the TV show Silicon Valley, where the rest of the country is sort of keying into some of the ways we think and act around here. But it's true that there's a lot of ideas from all over the world that come here, and so many. If you talk to people at the booth that have development here, actually come from all over Eastern Europe, all of our CTOs. So a lot of that wealth of vocabulary and thinking here comes from every other place, and all the transplants here in technology.
Well, it's really cool stuff, and inquiring minds want to know, who is your favorite character on Silicon Valley?
Oh, my favorite character? Definitely Ehrlich.
Yeah, Ehrlich Bachman. Doesn't he remind you a lot of Kenny?
Hey, strike that, Rob. I wanted to just say two things about Silicon Valley and about San Jose and about RealComm and the growth of it. 120 exhibitors. They had 60 interviews on RealComm, the conference live. They talked about the mixed reality. Our world against this world here in Silicon Valley. California became the 6th largest economic zone this year, surpassing Brazil. And it's the 6th largest economy in the world. And it's in the money around the world that's following the technology is being funneled into Silicon Valley. Jim Young said that 30% of the global economy is being funneled into this part of California. That's a pretty interesting comment.
Very. And the other thing, I think, kudos again to the RealComm folks, is how they have combined that with our industry, and that became pretty obvious as I started talking to some of these folks. They've definitely come from the Valley, and they are startups, and they've started up other startups, and they're seeing us as some of their new fertile ground, which is pretty exciting. So that's kind of a neat thing to see that all coming together.
Right. And I brought my Silicon Valley child with me, who's now like 21 years old. And it was fun to see this show through his eyes and some of the stuff he was excited about. And he was fascinated with the sessions that were on arenas, sports arenas. They had the guy that was doing the IT for the new stadium for the Golden Warriors. He talked a lot about Levi's Stadium for the 49ers. That was a fascinating session, all the Wi-Fi. He also really enjoyed some of the booths here about virtual reality, which also came into play down in the arenas. Is the idea that there's so much data being collected, and in some cases 3D camera data that is serving for virtual reality glasses. There's a cool exhibit over here about drone data being fed down to your VR glasses that are going to be, again, kind of like a Google Earth sort of thing. So seeing all the cool technology through this millennial's eyes was really a fun part of today.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I think that's really great, because that's how the change is going to occur. It's not going to be us that changes, it's the millenniums moving in, and they're saying, you guys, you finally got it, or you at least got a bit of it anyway, and change is happening, and all of a sudden our industry is becoming exciting.
Very, very cool. Well, there you have it, Teresa. Beautiful part of the world that you live in, and thank you so much for the contributions you make to Control Trends. Teresa Sullivan's buildingcontext.me. Check her blog out. Ken Sinclair, aka Auto, automatedbuildings.com. Check him out. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend. Hey, I tell you what, guys, let's go check out the bar and see what kind of bar food they got out here in Southern California. We'll be back with you tomorrow with your day 3 recap.
Very good.